Hi Austin, Liz King here with Douglas Residential, and today I am reaching out to my sellers because I want you to have the power and confidence to compete with all the other sellers in the market this spring and make sure that your home is the first on your block to get sold, not the last. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, this all of a sudden in the past week, I have phone calls and reach outs all about, hey, I'm thinking about listing. Can you come over to my house? Let's come take a look at things. I want to know how I compete, about what I can expect. I'm telling you this because there's going to be competition this spring. There always is. It's a great time for people to put their houses on the market. But in order to compete well, we need to make sure that your house is ready, is priced appropriately, shows the way that buyers expect so that they will actually come in and pay top dollar for your house. So, step one, and again, this is trying to take the power from the buyers to give you, the seller, your best chance of getting top dollar. Step one, let's start with some of the P's on my list. Number one, do you want to pre-inspect your home? A pre-inspection gives you the data of here's what's going on with the house, gives you a chance to address those issues. So when buyers come in and say, well, we had our inspection and it found these things, you can say, nope, I've already disclosed that, or I already addressed that. It's no longer an issue. It does take away some of the buyer's negotiation power. And so that is an option, but it also can reveal some information that now you need to disclose to your buyers. So we can certainly talk about that. The next P on my list is projects. Are there some projects, some deferred maintenance that really should be taken care of prior to listing? If the house is feeling kind of dingy or dark, paint it. Pick a nice light neutral color. I can help you pick a paint color. But paint is one of the least expensive projects you can do that gives the home a whole new feel and makes it feel fresh for the buyers. Would there be some simple little projects to tune up some things? Maybe a few light fixtures that really are outdated or not in line with what is expected in the neighborhood. Go ahead and change those out. I can happily connect you with a handyman or give you some ideas on things that aren't expensive but actually would make it feel new and fresh and bright in there. One of the big things people always look for is the countertops. No, not countertop. Sorry, wrong thing on my list. Flooring. If you have old carpet, I'm going to tell you, it's not super expensive. That might be a great thing to repair or to replace, especially if it's kind of like matted or pet stains. Just people notice carpet right away. And then the last thing is just your curb appeal outside. Put a few flowers in. Power wash that driveway and walkway so that way everything looks fresh and sparkling, and it shows that you've put in the maintenance and attention to detail so that buyers know that the house, they're in good hands. We're going to come back to my last P, which is pricing, in just a minute. Let's talk about how you show a house. Number one is going to be decluttering. And what I mean by that is imagine your house with 40% less of your personal items inside. A lot of times if people have a garage, they pack it up with, again, like almost half of what's in every room. You want it to look pretty empty, no pictures on the wall. You want to make sure that the buyers aren't distracted by your personal things, and when it's kind of empty, everything feels bigger and more spacious. So we can talk about like what you would keep versus what you would maybe pack away, but that is a hugely important thing to do prior to listing. And I know if you're still living there, you're still going to have to live there, so keep the things out that you have to have, but then when people are coming to see the house, you can pack things away a bit. I'm always going to suggest deep cleaning the house prior to buyers walking through. People notice if there's like little crumbs and, oh, this is sticky, and oh, there's a bunch of stains and speckles on things. I know it's a huge pain, and that's why we want to sell the house quickly so that way you don't have to keep it in show ready. Keep it show ready, but at the very least, do a really deep clean, things like blinds and baseboards, all the stuff that we miss day to day, windows, have that taken care of prior to showing. Pricing your house right. A couple of pieces to this. Number one, I can always send over comps. Here's what has happened historically nearby for houses that are similar. We can talk about price per square foot. We can talk about neighborhood features and amenities your home has that others don't. But you want to make sure that you price your house right, partly because there's going to be an appraisal, or there will likely be an appraisal on when you get an offer. In order for that buyer to get a loan, the appraiser will come out, compare it to things that have sold, and decide how much they can lend on your particular house. So, even if you price it super high and get an offer at that price, if it doesn't appraise, they still have an opportunity to potentially negotiate with you. Save that hassle. Make sure you price it well using the best possible recent closed data, and then also make sure that you're stepping into other homes in your neighborhood. If they have an open house, you go see what other people are doing, because that's exactly what buyers are doing, and you are competing. You want to win those buyers ahead of anybody else who also is listing their house. So especially if there are a couple, it's usually easy to tell which is the next one that's going to get sold. It's going to be the house that's in the nicest condition, that has the best offerings, that's the lowest price. So make sure that you're stepping inside. If you want me to go with you, I will. But if you need help listing this coming spring, please reach out at liz@douglasresidential.com. I would love to help you get your home sold so you can move forward and do something fabulous.